Stadium in Joliet, Illinois, and welcome to today's CCAC baseball matchup between the University of St. Francis and the visiting Trinity Christian College. Terry Bonadonna with you for the play-by-play of today's game as the Saints try to make it 2 and perhaps even 3 in a row against the Trolls after taking a wild one yesterday in the series opener. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. First for the visiting Trolls from Trinity Christian. Chris Baker leads things off, playing center field. Batting second, right fielder Tyler Strozinski. The number 3 hitter is shortstop Kyle Kolb. Batting fourth at second base, Austin Wood. Alex Nisley plays third base. Jake Dole bats sixth and does the catching. Sam Herzog is at first. John Roberts is the designated hitter, batting eighth. And hitting ninth, left fielder Morgan Nowitzki. The starting pitcher for the Trinity Christian College Trolls in today's game will be Richard Yelnick. For the Fighting Saints of St. Francis, Travis Schoonover leads off, playing right field. Batting second, left fielder Brandon Lysek-Talley. Pat Mahalik hits third in center field. Kevin Mampy does the pitching. He's the cleanup batter. Anthony Farron is at first base. Hitting sixth, Michael Quirum. Quirum plays short. Kevin Rada does the catching. John Peterson hits eighth at third base, and batting ninth, second baseman Noah Carraro. The starting pitcher, as previously mentioned for St. Francis today, is right-hander Kevin Mampy. Starting for the 12th time this year, he's 4-4 with a 5.52 ERA. Mampy this season has thrown 62 innings. He's allowed 40 runs, 38 of them earned on 76 hits, 60 strikeouts, 20 walks. Opponents are batting .305 this season against the senior here on Senior Day, Kevin Mampy, making his final start here on this mound in his career. Technically, it's his first start on this mound. I'll explain in a moment. First pitch of the ball game coming into Chris Baker. It is taken for strike one, and we're underway at 1:03 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Chris Baker, one of many tough challenges in the lineup for Kevin Mampy today, a .333 hitter. He's got 21 extra base hits, including 5 homers. He takes a strike over the inside corner, and it's a quick 0-2 hole. First game on this field for St. Francis this year. This has been their home stadium in previous years, but this season hasn't been ready to go. As the 0-2 comes in, it's poked foul to the left side, still 0-2. Brand new artificial turf has been installed here at the newly christened Route 66 Stadium, and finally ready to go this week after a spring of installation. Ball high, 1-2. So this is the first game that St. Francis is playing on this field this year, and technically it's the first time they've ever played on this field because while the stadium has been up, it's a brand new playing surface, just installed and finished up last week. Ball high, 2-2. Count is even on Chris Baker. At .333, his batting average is actually significantly worse than the team average of .343. This is one of the best hitting teams in the country and certainly among the best in the CCAC. But Baker takes strike 3 here, and Mampy is off and running. First at bat is a strikeout. One down in the top of the first inning in front of Tyler Strozinski. Strozinski and the man on deck, Kyle Kolb, are the most dangerous in a lineup of very dangerous hitters, both of them hitting well over 400. First pitch from Mampy to Strozinski is a strike. Trinity Christian showed St. Francis what their offense was capable of yesterday when they scored 15 runs in a loss to the Saints. Strike called, 0-2. The Trolls also showed why their record is 17-10 in conference as opposed to 25-2 or something along those lines with the kind of offensive numbers they have. Their pitching has not quite matched up to the offense. Team ERA of 5.26. So we could potentially see a couple of high-scoring games today as well. Ball outside, 1-2. Strozinski at .433 overall this season. He's slugging an incredible .701. That includes 22 doubles and 6 home runs. 4th in the nation in doubles. This is a bouncer to the right side, picked up cleanly by the first baseman Anthony Farron, who carries it to the bag for out number 2. 3 unassisted, 2 quick outs against Kevin Mampy, just the start he was hoping for against this very lethal offense, and now he'll have to go through the best hitter of all on the team, Kyle Kolb. Kolb is hitting .487 this year. Top 5 nationally ranked in that category. He's got an OPS nearing 1,300. Buddy bats with 2 outs and the base is empty, just the way you'd want to see him. The first pitch to the right-handed hitting shortstop is over for strike 1. It's a good way to keep these Trinity Christian hitters defensive. Mampy has gotten ahead of each one of them so far with strike 1. There's a bouncing ball to the left side. Charging it is the shortstop. Gloved by Quirum. The throw to first is in time, and the inning is over. Nice work by Mampy and company in the first inning. 1-2-3 with a strikeout and a couple of grounders. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Saints coming up to bat in a scoreless tie. The Trolls did not score in the first inning, and now they take the field for the first time, set to face Travis Schoonover, Brandon Lysek, Talley, and Pat Mahalik. Mampy, Farron, Quirum, Rada, Peterson, Carraro make up the rest of the lineup, 1 through 9, and they're going up against a Trinity Christian left-hander, a senior named Richard Yelnick, starting for the 13th time and making his 14th appearance overall. Yelnick is 5-5 with a 4.52 ERA. He's set for the first pitch to Travis Schoonover. And Schoonover rips it down the right field line, but foul for strike 1. Just foul by about a foot or so right there, as Schoonover bids to become a leadoff base runner against Yelnick, who has thrown 73 2/3 innings on the season. He's allowed 49 runs, 37 of them earned on 88 hits, 62 strikeouts, 14 walks. Opponents are batting .301 against Yelnick this year. Hails from right down the road in New Lenox, and he fires a strike on Schoonover, quickly 0-2. Both pitchers have started this way against the leadoff man, some quick strikes. And a big key when you're facing St. Francis, Travis Schoonover, the leading hitter at .362. He takes a ball in the dirt here, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schoonover's on base is at .417, .561 slugging percentage. He leads the team with 8 home runs. And he's second with 37 RBIs. A lot of chances for a top-of-the-order hitter. 1-2. He swings and flies that ball to left field, but it's foul. And onto the lawn, down the line, out of play. A little bit on the chilly side, but otherwise beautiful day for baseball. Light breeze blowing from left to right now. The sun is shining up ahead. Popped up, left side, foul. This ball will get close to the seats, and it will land just over the dugout in the front row. Still 1-2 on Travis Schoonover, sophomore outfielder. Came into today's game with 21 extra base hits on the season. That number was tied with Kevin Mampy for best on the Saints team. Saints team that's been playing some of their best baseball of late and trying to stay on that roll today. A 1-2 to Schoonover. Ground ball to second base. Austin Wood is up with it. He throws to first, and there's your first out of the inning. Leadoff batters have seen similar paths in this first inning. Both falling behind 0-2, both working the at-bat a few more pitches before ultimately being retired. Here's Brandon Lysak-Talley, a senior honored on Senior Day today. Right-handed hitting left fielder, swings through the first pitch for strike one. Lysak-Talley has been, throughout his career, an excellent pinch runner more than anything else. He scored 68 runs and stolen 13 bags in his 101 career games. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Has not gotten as many opportunities at the plate over the last 4 years, but he's getting a chance today, starting this first game of the doubleheader. 1 out, nobody on. The 0-2 pitch from Yelnick. Over the inside corner for a called third strike. 3-pitch strikeout for Yelnick. 2 quick outs to start the ball game for him. And now he'll have to go through another senior. Number 10, center fielder Pat Mahalik. Mahalik, another left-handed bat. And the first pitch from Yelnick misses downstairs for ball one. Pat Mahalik this season is hitting .275. He's got 3 home runs, 29 RBIs, 8 doubles on the year for the senior outfielder. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Yelnick. Chopper to the right side, easily playable at first base for Herzog. He steps on the bag and ends the inning. Both pitchers off to strong starts today. 1-2-3 for both teams in the first inning. We move to the second. No score. Both pitchers looked good in the first inning in a scoreless tie after 1. Kevin Mampey will try to match that production in the second, facing Austin Wood, Alex Nisley, and Jake Thole. Wood, the cleanup batter, plays second base for John Heisman's Trinity Christian Trolls, and he takes a first pitch strike from Kevin Mampey. Mampey has gotten ahead of every one of the 4 hitters with his first pitch so far in today's game. Ball high, and the count evens up 1-1. Austin Woods, another good hitter, .331, 3 homers, 36 RBIs. Tapped foul, 1-2. Trolls are near the top of the leaderboard nationally in many offensive categories. They're hitting .343 as a team. Their team OPS is nearly 1,000. Fouled off to the right side. Still 1-2. Overall, it's .954, which is number in itself good enough for the Hall of Fame from an individual player, but that's their entire team's combination. There's a pop foul to the right side. Still 1-2 on Wood. There are 119 doubles as a team this season. Our top 5 in the country, and Don't forget that when they get on base, you got to watch out for them to run. They've stolen 95 bags this year. There's a hopper to short. Charging is Quirum. Tough play. The shortstop throws to first, and it's not in time. We've got the game's first base runner, and it comes on an infield single from Austin Wood. Nice effort by Quirum, but the ball hit too softly. And no chance to make the play on the charge. It'll be interesting to see how the infield plays today. It didn't look like it gave much of a boost to that ball on the ground right there. Again, first time that St. Francis has played on this brand new artificial surface here at Route 66 Field. Pulled the bat back, and ball one is the call on Alex Nisley. Nisley was looking to bunt initially. 340 hitter with no sacrifices this year. He does have 18 extra base hits, 29 RBIs, but he showed bunt on the first pitch. Peterson creeping in at third, but Nisley was not looking to bunt. It's a called strike, and the count evens 1-1. Yesterday, these two teams played 10 innings against one another, so they're already well familiar with each other. Swing and a miss, strike two. That ought to back Peterson up at third. He was still guarding against a bunt on the last pitch. They went to 10 innings yesterday, tied 15 all. It was a wild one at Trinity Christian. St. Francis came on top by scoring 6 runs in the top of the 10th. I guess when you go to extras tied at 15, it wouldn't do to just get 1 run to end it. It would not be befitting the game that had just been played. Liner to short, caught on the fly by Quirum. Throw back to first, looking for the double play. Can't quite get it. Wood dives in ahead of the catch, but it is a first out of the inning as Alex Nisley lines sharply to Michael Quirum. And the batter will be Jake Tholl. Tholl, the catcher for Trinity Christian, hitting .373. 7 home runs and a team best 55 runs knocked in. Swinging for the fences on the first pitch here. Can't really connect. Just a tip for strike one. Jake Tholl is the catcher on this Trinity Christian squad. Starting behind the plate today in the batter's box right now with an 0-1 count and a runner at first with 1 down. Long pause by Mampy and time is called. 5 feet 10 inches tall. Very sturdily built, a catcher's frame for this junior. Here comes the 0-1. Lifted out to right field. Moving in on that ball is Travis Schoonover. He gets in and makes the catch. 2 down. Jake Tholl got under it. First batter to hit the ball into the outfield in today's game for either team, though. Kevin Mampy still in control in the inning with 2 outs and a man at first base. And out Sam Herzog trying to keep the inning alive. Herzog, a left-handed hitting first baseman, making just his 10th start of the season. He's batting just a shade over 200, and he takes the ball inside. It's odd to see that on this team for as prolific as they are offensively. This guy's batting just .206 this year. He's got a pair of RBIs in his 9 starts. He drives this ball out to deep right field. Travis Schoonover back on the run. Schoonover still going, and it's over his head. That ball 1 hops off the wall. Austin Wood rounds third base. He's going to try to score. The throw to the plate is cut off, and it's a 1-run lead for Trinity Christian as they get an RBI double from Sam Herzog. 3rd RBI this season for Herzog. And now the Saints will erase that RBI. They throw back to the plate and get the out. Well, I missed that one. Was that either an appeal or he missed the plate? I'll find out in between innings, but it's the 3rd out. The run will not count for Trinity Christian, and we'll go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. We'll get this situation figured out as the Trolls do not score in the top half of the 2nd. We'll go to the bottom of the frame. Saints coming up in a scoreless tie. Bottom of the second inning, we have no score as the Saints come up to bat. Kevin Mampy, Anthony Farron, Michael Queerum, the scheduled hitters here. Take the run off the board for Trinity Christian. No score as Mampy, the pitcher, takes strike one. Weird ending to the top half of the second inning. Runner at first and 2 outs. Sam Herzog lifted a double out to right field over the head of Travis Schoonover and looked like he had picked up an RBI in the process. There's a ball low and away to even the count at 1-1. Austin Wood came all the way around from first and crossed the plate safely. After the fact, the Saints threw back to third base. And it turns out that Austin Wood had missed the bag at third. He never touched third base, so when the Saints tagged the bag with the ball, he was ruled out on appeal. So no run, 2 hits for the Trolls in the top of the second inning, and 1 left. Still 0-0 as the count is 1-2 on Kevin Mampy, who benefited from the base running mistake. Has not allowed a run yet as Mampy fouls it back. It's 1-2. Meanwhile, Richard Yelnick was awfully impressive in the bottom half of the first inning. So he got Travis Schoonover to ground out. He struck out Brandon Lysak-Talley and then got Pat Mahalik to roll out to first base. So a strong start for the senior lefty. We'll see if he can keep it going into the second as Mampy lifts it foul to the right side and out of play. Kevin Mampy offensively this season is batting .322. He's got 6 homers, 39 RBIs. The latter category leads the ball club. He takes strike 3 over the inside corner, 1 away. Second strikeout of the game for Richard Yelnick. Both of them have come looking. Mampy goes down for the first out in front of Anthony Farron. Anthony Farron starting for the 48th time this year. He's missed only 1 game. He's batting .294. A homer, 36 runs batted in. Chopper to the shortstop. It's going to be a tough play for the charging Kyle Colby. Gloves, throws in one motion and gets Farron out. 2 down. Nice play right there by Kyle Kolb. He had to glove that ball while he was sprinting in. Gloved it and made an off-balance throw to first base, a step ahead of Farron. So the batter is Mike Queerum. 2 outs, nobody on. 5 straight retired to begin the ball game by Richard Yelnick. Queerum swings the first pitch and hits it foul. Queerum was the starting pitcher in yesterday's Wild game. He did not factor in the decision. Game that the Saints won 21-15 in extra innings. Strike called and the count is 0-2. Queerum this season is batting .315. 16 runs batted in. He's doubled 7 times. He's tripled once. St. Francis trying to keep this second inning alive. It's 0-2 on Queerum. And he takes a ball just inside, 1-2. Alex Nisley over at third base was halfway to the dugout, wanted that call. It's in a similar spot to the strike 3 call on Kevin Mampy, but this one a little bit too far inside and off the plate. Now the 1-2. High for a ball, the count is evened up. Nice work so far in this at-bat by Queerum after quickly falling behind 0-2. He has not been over-aggressive here, and he's worked his way back into the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on in the second. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. Queerum will see at least one more. If he can reach, Kevin Rada will bat next. Lefty versus righty. Here's another 2-2. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. It's off the foot initially of Yelnick, but he's able to track it down as it stays in front of him, and he flips underhand over to first base to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 6 straight retired by Yelnick. As we head to the third, we don't have a score. Well pitched ball game so far as we are 2 innings down with 5 to play here in game 1. 14 innings still to play during the doubleheader. 7 inning game 1, 9 innings for game 2. Nothing here as Kevin Mampy starts off the top of the third with ball 1 high and John Roberts. Roberts is the designated hitter for Trinity Christian, getting his first at bat today, starting for just the 8th time this year. He's a .287 hitter. He's got 1 home run and 6 RBIs for the year and a 1-1 count. So he takes the ball off the outside corner, 2-1. Mampy started Roberts off with ball 1. Third time in the last 4 hitters that he has thrown a first pitch ball after finding the zone on each of his first 4 batters' first pitches. Just one really hard hit ball so far. It belonged to Sam Herzog last inning as he doubled to the right field wall. Apparently led to a run, but on appeal, Austin Wood, who had scored, missed third base, so the run was taken off the board. Strike 3 called over the outside corner. Roberts goes down looking. 1 away. 2 strikeouts now for Kevin Mampy. They've both been backwards Ks. And now he faces Morgan Nowitzki with 1 out and nobody on. Nowitzki is the left fielder, hitting .262, 6 RBIs, 1 double this year. He takes strike 1 from Kevin Mampy. Which is the 43rd at bat of the season here for Nowitzki. Trolls are playing a lot of irregulars in this game. Ball high, 1-1. This is, though, a big game for both of these teams, regardless of what happens in the next one. But that'll be a big game, too. Liner up the middle, a base hit for Nowitzki. Kevin Mampy was able to duck out of the way of that screaming liner, straight back up the box. Mampy threw his glove up on the ball, but came up short in the attempt to catch it. Most importantly, he wasn't hit by the liner. Back at him. Man aboard with 1 out, and we're back to the top of the order, and Chris Baker. This very lethal Trinity Christian top of the order. Baker, Srozinski, Kolb, Wood. Next few hitters are tough outs. There's strike 1 on Baker. Chris Baker is 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the first inning. The 0-1 behind him, and it gets past Kevin Rada to the backstop. Nowitzki advances to second on the wild pitch. Kevin Mampy badly missed his spot right there. He threw the ball behind Chris Baker. No chance for Rada as the count is even, 1-1. Double play no longer in order as the runner advances to second base. Mampy pitching from the stretch delivers the 1-1. And it's fouled off. So he's got another 2-strike count here. 2 strikeouts so far in the game. He could use a third in this moment. Mampy takes a good long look in at Rada. Finally gets the sign he likes and sets. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Chris Baker goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today. First time he's gotten somebody swinging. That's 3 strikeouts in the game. And the batter will be Srozinski. Tyler Srozinski, one of the best hitters in the country. .433 coming in. 0 for 1 with the ground out in this game. Takes ball 1. Doesn't get any easier on deck. Kyle Kolb's batting .487. These 2 guys, they're 2 and 3 hitters, have put up some monstrous numbers. Grounded to short this time. Picked up cleanly by Quirum. His throw to first is in plenty of time. The inning is over. The 1-out single doesn't matter much for St. Francis as the Trolls do not score. We head to the home half of the 3rd. 0-0. In the bottom of the third inning, we have yet to see somebody score. Or rather, we have seen one person score, but it was then overturned on appeal. He didn't touch third base. So we start the bottom of the third with a 0-0 count on the scoreboard. Kevin Rada bats for the first time and fouls back the first pitch. Saints are looking for their first base runner. 6 up, 6 down so far against Richard Yelnick. Left-hander pitches from the stretch at all times. His 0-1 to Rada is popped up, foul ground to the right side. That ball will get out of play. Lands up in the sweet area. 0-2. And Kevin Rada, the starting catcher for St. Francis, and a .298 hitter. 5 home runs, 34 RBIs on the season. Junior catcher awaits the 0-2. And he takes the ball just off the outside corner. It's 1-2. Man on deck is John Peterson. Noah Carraro will close out the inning, or at least bat third the inning. Close out the trio of scheduled hitters. Yelnick is hoping that it closes the inning as well. Saints would prefer not. Ball low, 2-2. Southpaw gets the sign and sets. Here's the next pitch. Swung out and missed. Strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Richard Yelnick. He's gotten 1 each inning so far. The other 2 were looking. This is the first batter he has struck out swinging. 62 strikeouts and 73 and 2/3 innings coming in. A pretty good number right there. And he's got 3 early today as John Peterson bats and fouls off the first pitch. Saints been very aggressive. We've seen a lot of swings early in the count. We have not often seen those swings result in the balls being put in play. Certainly, we haven't seen them turn into hits yet. Strike called. It's 0-2 on Peterson. John Peterson this year batting at .313. 3 doubles, a triple, 10 RBIs. Grounder to short. Another chance for Kyle Kolb, whose throw to first is perfect. That's 8 in a row retired by Richard Yelnick. And he'll face the final batter in the order for St. Francis before he starts cycling through a second time. Freshman infielder Noah Carraro up now. Second baseman is batting for the first time. Trying to keep the inning alive. He flips this ball out to right field down the line. Long run for Strozinski, but he gets to it right at the line and makes the grab just before going into foul territory. So Carraro pops out to right field, and we've played a full 3 innings. Trinity Christian's got no score, but St. Francis has no hits. I'll try to get things going a little bit later on, but first they take the field when we return for the 4th. 0-0 our score. In the top of the 4th inning, it's Kyle Kolb Austin Wood and Alex Nisley due up for the Trolls. They're infield for the most part, minus the first baseman. Batting against Kevin Mampy, who has allowed 3 hits but no runs through 3 innings. First pitch to Kyle Kolb is in there for a strike over the inside corner. 0-1. Kyle Kolb grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Takes a ball outside. That evens up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike on Kolb, the leading hitter in the CCAC. 487 average. He hits a chopper up the middle. Tough play for Quirum. He gloves it in front of second base, throws to first, and gets him in time. Nicely done by Quirum on a bouncer right up the middle. A little bit too high on the hop for Kevin Mampy to make the play. Quirum had to move in behind the pitcher, scoop it up, and on a slowly developing play, he had to hurry to get Kyle Kolb. He was able to do it for the first out of the inning. 3 straight now retired by Mampy, and here's Austin Wood. Wood was the first man to reach for Trinity Christian in this game. He reached on an infield single back in the second inning. Ball 1 high on Wood to begin this at-bat. He swings this pitch and hits it on the ground right at the second baseman this time. Noah Carraro tosses to first. 2 down. Both middle infielders have had a chance to make a play this inning and done so flawlessly. 6-3 on Kolb, and Wood grounds out 4-3. Now it's up to Alex Nisley with 2 outs and the bases empty. Mampy hasn't had a 1-2-3 inning since the first. He wouldn't mind another right here. Still no score in this excellent pitcher's duel. Inside, and Nisley got hit. So the 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Mampy remains a dream for now as he puts a man aboard, 2 outs and nobody on. Nisley barely got caught on the sleeve, it seemed like there. You could hear the ball hit 2 things from up here. And one of those things happened to be the sleeve of Alex Nisley. Brian Mahalik out to argue the call, maybe suggesting that Nisley didn't do much to get out of the way of that one. Best place to get hit is right there on the sleeve. You don't have to take a single bruise. You just kind of stand in there, let that pitch take off part of your jersey, and then you walk happily down to first base. Conference down behind home plate continues. We have no score in the top of the 4th. The Trolls are out hitting the Saints 3-0. They've gotten singles from Morgan Nowitzki and Austin Wood, plus a double from Sam Herzog. Herzog had initially appeared to drive in a run before he was called out on appeal at third. Here's the dangerous hitting catcher, Jake Thole, swinging at the first pitch and hitting it high and deep out to left center field. Backing up on this ball, Mahalik. He's there. He's got it. And there's the inning. Deep drive by Thole right there, but it got caught up in the breeze. Did not carry very much. Out in deep left center, and Mahalik had a pretty routine play on the ball. Runner left at first base. He was hit by a pitch, but no hits in the inning and nobody scores. We head to the bottom of the 4th, 0-0. Top of the order for the Fighting Saints in the bottom of the fourth inning, trying to break that scoreboard first. 0-0 after 3.5. Travis Schoonover leads things off. First pitch to Travis is lined hard down the right field line, but foul. Far and away, the two hardest hit balls today against Richard Yelnick have been Travis Schoonover line drives in similar location down the right field line. Both of them have been just foul. And as we reach the bottom of the fourth inning with the Saints still looking for their first base runner, become more and more grateful for the base running mistake that Trinity Christian made back in the second when it looked initially like they had broken the scoreless tie. Schoonover knuckles it over to the right side on one hop. A backhanded stop by Austin Wood, whose throw to first beats Schoonover by half a step. Nicely done by Wood. Not an easy play at all. Ball looked like it had some weird spin to it, so once it bounced once off the turf, Wood had to recalibrate, make a backhanded play, and quickly throw to first to get Schoonover, who's got good speed. So now it's the number 2 hitter, Brandon Lysak-Talley, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He swings and misses, strike one. 10 straight retired to begin today's game by Yelnick. Achievement somewhat more noteworthy for the fact that it is game 1 of a doubleheader. That ball's fouled back, 0-2 now. That means that it is just a 7-inning game. So he's already made it just about halfway through this thing. He hasn't let anybody on base yet. The 0-2. Lysak-Talley swings and misses for strike 3. Tried to lay off, but he couldn't. That's 4 strikeouts in the game for Yelnick, 1 every inning. And here's Pat Mahalik. Pat Mahalik, one of 8 seniors honored on Senior Day today. In fact, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters all were part of the Senior Day presentations before the game. Lysak-Talley, Mahalik, and Kevin Mampy, who's on deck. Strike 1 called on Mahalik. 2 outs, nobody on base. Still scoreless, but the Trolls have put a little bit more pressure on their opposition than the Saints have. St. Francis still has not had a base runner yet. Mahalik trying to change that in this at-bat as he takes ball 1 low and away. He grounded out to first base in the first inning. Lefty versus lefty. And it's a ball downstairs. 2-1 on Pat Mahalik. It's a rare hitter's count for St. Francis Fighting Saint today. Yelnick has not gone to 3 balls on any hitter so far. Mahalik laces it up the middle, a base hit. Just over second base, it skids into the outfield. 2-out single for Pat Mahalik, and the Saints do indeed have their first base runner. It comes with 2 outs in the inning, but we'll see if they can mount a 2-out rally in support of what has so far been a fine game pitched by Kevin Mampy. Mampy's got a chance to be the offense here too. He's 0 for 1. Struck out looking in the second inning. He gets his second at bat of the game right now. First pitch from Yelnick is taken over the outside corner. That's strike 1. Pat Mahalik, the man over at first base right now, has pretty decent speed. He has stolen 6 bases in 8 attempts this year. There's a pop-up by Mampy, shallow right field. Sends Wood backpedaling. Strozinski comes in, calls him off, and makes the catch. Despite a 2-out single from Pat Mahalik, the Saints don't score, so they have their first base runner, but still looking for their first run, as are the Trolls, as we head to the 5th, 0-0. Bottom of the order for Trinity Christian. Top of the 5th inning. Saints and Trolls scoreless. Great pitchers duel so far. More than halfway through this first game. Sam Herzog takes strike one. Herzog is 1 for 1 with a double. The only man on either team with an extra base hit today. A surprise considering the source. Not that Herzog's not capable of coming up with big hits, as this ball is bunted down the first base line. It trickles foul. And the count is 0-2. Herzog entering play today had 3 doubles on the season, so he's capable. In just 34 at-bats, he had those 3 doubles. This is a team that's among the top 5 in the country in terms of extra base hits. They've got 6 players with 10 or more two-baggers this year, and yet this guy, Sam Herzog, seldom used reserve first baseman, is the one guy who's been able to do it so far in this game. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's more like it for Kevin Mampy against Sam Herzog. He picks up his first strikeout since the 3rd inning. It's his 4th of the game. And the leadoff man is retired for the 4th time in 5 innings. Here's John Roberts. Roberts is 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the 3rd. He goes for a swing on the first attempt here. Strike 1. Awkward cut from the designated hitter. 1 out, nobody on. John Roberts in a deep squat in the right-handed batter's box, but before he can take a swing, Kevin Mampy steps off the rubber. He's ready to go again. Now the 0-1. Popped up on the infield. Foul ground on the right side. Farron and Rada are there. It'll be Anthony Farron making the grab for out number 2. Great start to the inning for Kevin Mampy. He's thrown just 5 pitches. All of them have been strikes. And he's got 2 outs already. Here's Morgan Nowitzki. Mampy's still looking for that first 1-2-3 inning since the first. Nowitzki is 1 for 1 with a single. He takes strike 1. Next one drops into the zone as well. That's 7 straight strikes thrown to start the inning by Kevin Mampy. Can he finish off Nowitzki right here? He cannot. It's ball low and away. It's 1-2. First ball thrown of the inning by Mampy, but he's still one good pitch away from a 1-2-3 frame. That wasn't the pitch he was looking for, as he got it low and outside once again. 2-2 on Morgan Nowitzki. 262 batter coming in, 1 for 1 in the game. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air to right field. Backing up Travis Schoonover. He reaches up over his head and makes the catch. Schoonover made that one a little bit iffy for a moment. Hard hit ball, but it was right at Schoonover. He started in on it. The last second adjusted, went back, and put it away. It is a 1-2-3 inning. First perfect frame for Mampy since the first, but it's his 5th straight 0 that he's put up on the board. We head to the bottom of the frame. No score. We've got no score in the bottom of the 5th inning as Anthony Farron leads things off, 0 for 1 with a ground out to the shortstop. Yelnick pitching a beauty for the Trinity Christian Trolls in 4 innings. He's allowed 1 single, and that's all. No walks, no runs, 4 strikeouts. He's been outstanding so far. But Kevin Mampey's been nearly as good for St. Francis. There have been a grand total of 4 hits combined in this game. Farron swings and misses for strike 1. Anthony Farron, a .292 hitter for the year. Grounded out on the first pitch he saw last time up. He'll be followed by Quirum and Rada here in the 5th. Swing and a miss, 0-2. A couple of solid, accomplished senior pitchers going at it today, so in one sense, not that surprising that we've had a good pitcher's duel, but after yesterday, this game really could not have gone any more differently than it has. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. Farron not happy about it. A 3-pitch strikeout. And the 5th strikeout of the game for Trinity Christian starter Richard Yelnick. He's gotten 1 every inning. Got time to try to get another here in the 5th. Quirum would like to have other plans than that. He's 0 for 1. Grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. Strike 1 called. Yesterday, 21-15 the final score in 10 innings. Call it a crazy hunch, but I don't think we're going to get back to those numbers today. Ground ball through the left side of the infield. A base hit for Quirum. It bounces once just to the right of shortstop Kyle Kolb rather. Kolb not able to react quite quickly enough, and too far out of the range of the third baseman, Alex Nisley. Second hit of the game for St. Francis. A couple of singles, 1 last inning from Mahalik, now 1 this inning from Quirum. And the batter is Kevin Rada. Rada struck out swinging when he led off the 3rd. Now he bats with a man at first and 1 out. Rada checks his swing up and takes strike 1. Barring a double play, John Peterson will bat next. Saints trying to put a little scare into Trinity here. They have not yet had a runner reach second base. Maybe this is the time. Next pitch to Rada, outside for a ball. 1-1. Michael Quirum, yesterday's starting pitcher, came up with a hit there, his 36th of the year. He does have 3 stolen bases this season in 3 attempts. Line drive up the middle, a base hit. Back-to-back 1-out singles. Second and third hits of the game for St. Francis, and for the first time all afternoon, there are 2 runners on base at the same time. The first time you could say that about either team, St. Francis or Trinity Christian. And now the batter is John Peterson, but we're going to have a pinch runner over at first base. Kevin Rada is removed for the time being, and Aaron Mahalik comes in to run. It's a courtesy runner. Rada, the catcher, will get his gear back on, so he's ready to catch come the top of the 6th inning. But it's Mahalik at first base now. Quirum at second. Peterson at the dish. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. This time he hits it in the air, but to the right side and out of play. Strike 1 on the foul. No runs, 3 hits, no errors. The totals for both teams. Best scoring chance by far for St. Francis today. It's the first time they've had somebody at second base. Strike across the knees. 0-2 on Peterson. Noah Carraro takes his swings in the on-deck circle. He'd like to come up to bat with the lead. Counting on Peterson to get that hit to score the first run. Steps out of the box with Yelnick taking his time on the mound at the moment. Another long look in from Yelnick, and finally he comes set. Here's the 0-2. Liner left field. That's a base hit out of the reach of the leaping Alex Nisley. Quirum's going to try to score. The throw comes in from Nowitzki. Play at the plate. He's safe. And the runners advance 90 feet on the throw. Close play at home, but Quirum was able to slide in just ahead of the tag. 3 straight hits, and Peterson comes up with the RBI as St. Francis leads 1-0. Big hitting right there from John Peterson. Aaron Mahalik now at third base. Peterson's at second, again on the throw. The batter's Noah Carraro with a chance to give the Saints a multi-run lead. Carraro is 0 for 1 with a flyout. That's all it would take to get a run in here. The RBI went to John Peterson moments ago. And for Peterson, that's number 11 this season. Infield stays back for Trinity. Carraro swings the first pitch, taps it down the third base line. Runner comes home. Throw from Nisley is in time for the out. 5-2 on the fielder's choice. Carraro is safe at first. Peterson moves up to third base. But Mahalik is retired. He was going on contact. Softly hit ball, meaning it was not easy from Nisley. He really needed to make a perfect throw to first base to have a chance. Or to the plate, I should say, to have a chance. And he made a perfect throw. Momentum was carrying him in. That helped as well. Travis Schoonover is the hitter now for St. Francis. Schoonover is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second base twice. He takes this first pitch for strike 1. 2 outs after the Carraro fielder's choice. They're at the corners with 1 run in so far. 4 total hits in the game for St. Francis. 3 of them have come consecutively. Right now. Ball 1 to even the count. Yelnick takes his short walk around the mound. Trying to compose himself here for the 1-1 pitch to Travis Schoonover. Left-hander is set. Runner goes. Schoonover pops it up down the left field line. Long run in. Nowitzki still coming into foul territory. That ball drops foul. Count is 1-2. Looked like trouble off the bat of Travis Schoonover. Carraro was running on the pitch. And with 2 outs, there was no need for him to slow down on contact. If that ball had dropped in fair territory, it would have scored 2 runs almost certainly. But just foul on a little blooper down the left field line. And now it's 1-2 on Schoonover. Yelnick trying to put him away once and for all. Liner up the middle and through. Another hit. Coming in to score is Peterson. Carraro advances to second base. It's 2-0 St. Francis. 4 of the last 5 batters have come up with hits. All of them singles. Nothing fancy. Just finding the right spots with their line drives. So here's Sean Harper batting now in the number 2 spot in the batting order. Harper takes the strike. Runners at first and second. Travis Schoonover picked up his 38th RBI of the year, just 1 behind Kevin Mampy now for the team lead. Little flare shot to the right side. This one will not clear the second baseman. Austin Wood is able to back up and make the grab, and finally the inning is over. But after securing just 1 hit through 4 innings, St. Francis comes up with 4 singles in the 5th. They score 2 runs, and as we head to the 6th inning, it's 2-0. The Fighting Saints are on top. Saints broke a scoreless tie with 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Kevin Mampey will try to protect that. Facing the top of the order here in the 6th inning, going through the Trinity Christian lineup for a 3rd time. He fires strike 1 inside corner on Chris Baker. Tough day so far for Baker. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, and he takes a ball high, 1-1. Winning this game would be big for St. Francis. It would guarantee them the season series against Trinity Christian. Liner to third and just out of the reach of John Peterson in the left field. Back to the infield. It's a single for Chris Baker. That ball is gathered out and left by Sean Harper. Harper stays in as left fielder after pinch hitting for Brandon Lysek-Talley last inning. Here's Strozinski. 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Kevin Mampey will look for him to do the exact same thing here. Strozinski shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes ball 1. Strozinski's a .433 hitter. His on-base percentage is well over 500, so he would be doing the Saints a major favor by dropping down a bunt here. He does square up again. Again, he pulls the bat back and takes. This time it's a strike. He does have 3 sacrifices this season. Trinity as a team has 24 sacrifices, which is a lot for a team that mashes the ball the way that they do. You wouldn't think they'd be all that inclined to give up outs anytime they don't have to. This is a team that averages 8 runs a game and has a .343 team batting average. That ball flown down the right field line, Schoonover chases it into foul territory and runs out of room as it lands on the right field berm, out of play. 1-2. Tying run in the batter's box. Kevin Mampey trying to get 6 more outs to finish this one. 1-2 the count on Strozinski with Kyle Kolb on deck. One and two. Ball low and away. 2-2. Mampey's got a lot of ground ball outs today. None of them with men on base, though. Trying to turn 2 here. There is a ground ball, but it's foul. Count is still 2-2. Top half of the 6th inning. Both of these teams entered play today 17-10 in the CCAC, and they're not the only ones. Coming into play today, there were 5 teams tied for the number 2 spot in the conference at 17 wins and 10 losses. There's a grounder up the middle. Diving Quirum can't reach it. It's a single into center for Strozinski, and there are 2 on base with nobody out. So now after the Saints finally have broken through with a couple of runs, Kevin Mampey finds himself in some trouble here with nobody out in the 6th. Tying run is on base for the very dangerous Kyle Kolb. That ball had just been a couple of feet further towards our left. Quirum's probably able to make the play and maybe even turn 2. As it is 2 on base and nobody out. First pitch to Kolb is bunted in the air, hanging up for the third baseman Peterson to come in and make a diving catch. 1 away. That was not a good bunt by Kyle Kolb, and again, the Trolls are giving up an out with a guy who's about a .500 hitter. It's kind of hard to figure. But it was not a good bunt, and certainly caught Peterson off guard. He was playing deep at third base. If he had been guarding against a bunt, that would have been an easy catch. As it was, because he was playing so deep, he really had to come in a long way and make the dive. Great play by John Peterson, necessitated by the fact that he was not expecting Kyle Kolb to drop one down there. And a big break for the Saints, as that's the one hitter more than anyone else in this lineup that gives you reason to worry about the lead. Not that it's safe now, but Mampey's made it through one big hurdle. Ball high on Austin Wood. It's 1-0. Wood is 1 for 2 with an infield single and a ground out. Check swing. He went around. Strike 1. 1-1 the count on Wood. 1 out, 2 on. 5 hits now for both teams. 2-0. St. Francis scored both their runs in the bottom of the fifth. Strike over the inside corner, 1-2. Kevin Mampy 1 strike away from a big second out. Because Kolb was not able to advance the runners, there's still a force at first, second, and third. Double play still a possibility here as the 1-2 comes into Wood. Ball 2 outside. The count is even. This is a team that steals a lot of bases. Chris Baker at second has 9 of them this year. And the man at first, Tyler Strozinski, leads the conference with 37 of them. Fouled away, still 2-2. The lead runner, though, is Baker, and despite 9 steals, he's been caught 7 times. So it might be too big a risk in this move to try to steal third. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Strikeout for Kevin Mampy, a big one with 2 men on base, and now there are 2 outs. 5 strikeouts in the game for the senior right-hander. And it'll all be up to Alex Nisley here in the 6th inning. He's 0 for 1 with a line out, hit by a pitch his last time up. Strike 1 called over the inside corner. Mampy continues to get ahead of batters with regularity. Still got his shutout going through 5 2/3 innings. Trying to wrap up his home career in impressive fashion with a win. Ball high, 1-1. Alex Nisley, a .340 batter this year, so you still have to be very careful with him. Runner goes, the pitch is swung on and fouled back. 1-2 now on Nisley. Baker got a good jump from second base. He would have had third stolen easily, but Strozinski was not running on the play. The only real advantage right now to Baker taking third base for Trinity Christian would be the opportunity to move up Strozinski then. With 2 outs, it's usually not worth the risk to try to steal third, unless you're also going to get the man at first into scoring position. Ball outside, 2-2. In a 2-run game right now, if Trinity could get both runners up a base and move the tying run then into scoring range, Saints would really have to sweat a little bit. 2-2. Foul tipped, and Nisley stays alive. Good at bat here for the third baseman. Alex Nisley trying to keep this inning going for Trinity Christian. They trail 2-0 after the Saints scored 2 runs in the bottom half of their last inning. In the bottom of the 6th, they'll have Mahalik, Mampy, and Farron, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, due up. There's a pop-up down the right field line. Tough play as it drifts into foul territory, and nobody will be able to get to it. It lands down in the right field bullpen. And it's still 2-2. Similar to a pop fly hit by Travis Schoonover in the last half inning. That one could have been trouble if it had stayed fair, but that ball drifted foul by plenty. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This will be the 7th pitch of this at-bat with 2 on base in a 2-run game. Nisley strikes out swinging. Mampy blows it by him and ends the inning. 2nd strikeout of the inning, 6th of the game. And Mampy is 3 outs away from a complete game victory. He'll get a chance to bat in the bottom of the 6th as the Saints look to provide a little insurance. 2-0 our score. 3, 4, and 5 due up for St. Francis in the bottom of the 6th. This game was tied for a long time, and then in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Fighting Saints came up with 2 runs on 4 hits. They only had 1 hit in the first 4 innings prior to that. Pat Mahalik is the one who had it. He's 1 for 2, drops down a bunt. It's a good one to the right side, charging Austin Wood. The second baseman has no play. Gorgeous bunt right there from Pat Mahalik and an easy base hit. Absolutely perfect placement. Leadoff man is aboard for the first time today. After the Saints scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th, Trinity Christian threatened in the top half of the 6th inning. They had 2 men on base with nobody out, but Kevin Mampy worked through that difficulty with 2 strikeouts. And now Mampy in the batter's box trying to add a little bit of a bigger lead as he pops up a bunt to the right side. It's foul for strike 1. Mampy will almost certainly head back to the mound for the 7th inning, trying to secure his 5th win of the year. It's only a 7-inning game for Game 1 of the doubleheader. Game 2 will go 9. Nobody warming up in the bullpen right now, so it's a safe bet that we will see Mampy. Even if there were somebody warming up in the bullpen, I'd still expect to see Mampy out there. Tries to bunt again, but he pops it up. 2 bunt attempts from Kevin Mampy in this at-bat, neither one of them very pretty. He does have 3 sacrifices this season, but with 2 strikes here, he'll likely be swinging away. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a flyout. He is still bunting. He pops it up, foul again. So even after 2 fairly ugly bunts, Brian Mahalik keeps the sign on for Kevin Mampy. And it ends up going foul again. He popped all 3 of them up. Mampy not particularly comfortable bunting in that situation against Richard Yelnick. He ends up getting credit for a strikeout. That's 6 strikeouts in the game for Yelnick, 1 every inning. Here's Anthony Farron. Farron swings to the first pitch, shoots it to third base. It's off the glove of Nisley. It's thrown to second for 1, over to first. An odd 5-4-3 double play. Farron scolded that ball out to left field, or towards the left side, I should say. Never made it to left field. Alex Nisley put his hand up, looked like he had caught the ball on the fly, but couldn't stick it. It was hit too hard for him. He ended up dropping the ball right in front of him, and it worked out for the best as he was easily able to turn 2, 5-4-3. So the 6th inning, despite the leadoff single, goes nowhere for the Saints. And we head to the 7th. Last chance coming up for the Trolls. 2-0 the score.
Off the top of the 7th, number 50, Jake Thole.
Top of the 7th inning, last chance for the Trolls. 2-0. St. Francis has the lead. Kevin Mampy trying to finish this thing off. His first pitch to Jake Thole misses for ball 1. Well, nothing is ever easy against this Trinity Christian offense. Kevin Mampy is still going to have to stay focused for these final 3 outs. Thole takes a strike. Having said that, it's definitely a relief, I'm sure, for him that he's facing 6, 7, and 8 this inning. Not that those guys are pushovers, but doesn't have to face Kyle Kolb, doesn't have to face Tyler Strozinski, Chris Baker. Swing and a miss from Thole, 1 and 2. Well, he may eventually have to face those guys this inning, but By that point, Trinity probably would already have at least tied the score. 1-2 on Thole, who has flown out twice. Next pitch from Mampy. Well outside, 2-2. Thole, Herzog, and Roberts due up. The three of them have gone a combined 1 for 6 so far today. Kevin Mampy has allowed only 5 hits total. There's number 6, a grounder through the hole on the left side. Not a particularly hard hit ball by Jake Thole, but perfect placement between shortstop Mike Querum and the third baseman John Peterson. And the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Sam Herzog. Herzog is 1 for 2. His double in the second inning remains the only extra base hit in this game for either side. It also remains the closest that Trinity has come to scoring a run. With Austin Wood at first base at the time of the double, Wood came around to score, apparently. On appeal, it turns out he had never touched third base. There's a ground ball to second base, picked up cleanly by the second baseman for the Saints, Noah Carraro. He throws to second for 1. The relay throw to first base is not in time to turn 2. Looked like a double play off the bat, but credit to Sam Herzog running hard all the way down that first base line as he was able to beat the relay throw. So only 1 out recorded on the play. Swing and a miss from John Roberts. There's strike 1 on him.
Number 35, John Roberts.
1 out here in the 7th. Man on first base, 2-0 St. Francis. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Kevin Mampy this season has thrown 3 complete games. 1 of them has been a shutout. Trying to make those numbers 4 and 2. Just a little bit high. 1-2 on Roberts. John Roberts has struck out looking. He's popped out to first base. He's 0 for 2. Next pitch from Mampy. Outside for a ball. 2-2. A couple of tough takes from John Roberts, the designated hitter, after falling behind 0-2. 2 close calls have gone the hitter's way. So now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Roberts strikes out swinging. 2 down. And now it's the final chance for Trinity Christian. Last hope is Morgan Nowitzki. 1 for 2 in the game with a single. He's also lined out to right field. The number 9 hitter for the Trolls, trying to keep this game alive. He takes ball 1 high. Remember, game 2 of the doubleheader coming up just after this one ends, about a half hour or so. Ground ball right side and just out of the reach of a diving Anthony Farron. Rounding second, heading to third base is Sam Herzog, and they're at the corners with 2 down. Morgan Nowitzki now 2 for 3, and he does indeed keep the Trolls in contention here. And he brings the top of the order back up. So this is exactly what Kevin Mampy did not want to have to deal with in the 7th inning. Chris Baker will get another chance. He's 1 for 3. He has struck out twice and singled once. 4 hits now the last 2 innings for Trinity Christian. So ever since St. Francis has taken the lead, Trolls have kept the pressure on. Baker takes ball 1. They've not been able to score yet, though. They've got a man at third right now for technically the first time all game. They had 1 other player reach third base before he was called out on appeal after never having actually touched third base. Baker takes a ball in the dirt, 2-0. And if Mampy allows Baker to reach base here, Srozinski would come to the plate with the go-ahead run on base. So this is a very dangerous spot right now for the senior Mampy. Still just 1 out away from the win. He misses high, ball 3. Mampy has not issued any walks in the game. He has hit 1 batter, but he hasn't walked anybody. This is the first time, and we're here with 2 outs in the 7th inning. It's the first time the entire game that he's had a 3-ball count on any Trinity Christian hitter. The 3-0 is in there for a strike. Big first strike. Baker was taking all the way on that pitch, and now the defense will have to be more ready. Anything goes here on 3-1. Good hitters count here for Baker. Mampy's pitch. Taken over the inside corner. The count is full. And now Kevin Mampy and company are just one strike away from wrapping up this Game 1 victory. Runners at the corners, 2 outs, 2-0. St. Francis has the lead. Both of their runs came in a 4-hit bottom of the 5th. Payoff pitch. Baker grounds it to first. It stays fair, and it's playable for Anthony Farron. He gloves it on a couple of hops, steps on the bag, and there's your ball game. St. Francis victorious here in Game 1 of the doubleheader, 2-0 over Trinity Christian. They've taken back-to-back contests from the Trolls, and in very different fashion. Yesterday, a 21-15 extra inning win. Today, 2-0 in 7 innings, and Kevin Mampy, the star of the game as pitcher for the Fighting Saints, didn't walk anybody, allowed just 7 hits. 6 of the 7 were singles, and he was able to skate around some trouble in the final 2 innings as the Trolls leave 2 base runners in both the 6th and the 7th, but do not score. Offensively, St. Francis got it all done in the 5th inning. If you take the 5th inning out, Pat Mahalik is the only one with a hit. Mahalik went 2 for 3. The rest of the teams, discounting the 5th inning, went 0 for 14. But the 5th inning, they were able to break loose. Michael Quirum started off with a 1-out single. Kevin Rada followed with a single of his own, and then a John Peterson base hit scored Quirum to give the Saints the only run they would need in this game, 1-0. Noah Carraro reached on a fielder's choice that saw Kevin Rada get thrown out of the plate, but Travis Schoonover followed with a base hit. Schoonover's hit scored Peterson, made it 2-0. That was all that Kevin Mampy would need as he finished off his gem. Going the distance for the 5th time this year, or the 4th time rather this year. He picks up his 2nd shutout of the season for St. Francis, the 4th shutout overall, and their 2nd in the last week. They beat St. Xavier 2-0. Last Sunday, they beat Trinity Christian 2-0 here. Mampy improves to 5-4 with the victory and his final regular season start. The conference tournament begins at Judson next week. For Trinity Christian, tough luck loser was Richard Yelnick. He falls to 5-6. Yelnick also threw a complete game, which in his case lasted only 6 innings, but he finished the ball game with 6 strikeouts. He allowed only 6 hits and gave up just 2 runs. Both of them were earned. We did not see a single walk in this game issued by either pitcher. With the win, St. Francis improves to 24-25. They're within a game of 500 and a chance to reach that mark later today with Game 2 of the doubleheader starting around 3 o'clock. Saints now 18-10 in conference. That's huge. They entered play today in a 5-way tie for 2nd place at 17-10. Trinity Christian was part of that tie. They're now 17-11 in conference, 27-20 overall. Again, our final score, St. Francis 2, Trinity Christian nothing. I'm going to step aside for the next half hour, but back right around 3 o'clock, we'll have Game 2 of the doubleheader. St. Francis against Trinity Christian, a 9-inning affair. And after 2 very tight games between these teams, should be another good one coming up. So join us again for that. Right now, I'm going to sign off. St. Francis beats Trinity Christian 2-0. Talk to you again in about a half hour.